Okay, welcome to my channel. And see, on this channel, this happens to be my very first video, and I'll be teaching some basics of React, and we will be starting with the useState hooks. And before we go into that, quickly I just want to set up the project, the development, and then we're using Vite. And so you can come to vite.dev/guide for you to get started. So everything, you get to see how I create everything. So right here we're using, you have npm yarn pnpm bond, then most likely I'll believe that you have npm or yarn installed on your device. So for start, I'll be using yarn. Okay, so I already have a folder in my directory which I called trainings, so I'm going to use that particular folder. Okay, project name, let me just say useState. It's asking select a framework while we're using React, and then we can do TypeScript. Okay, so it's telling us we need to cd into useState. So you can do code. Code is just to because I'm using VS Code, so the short form of opening VS Code is code, and then you specify the directory. So in my own case, that's the present directory which I'm in, which is this useState. Okay, we have this now, and yeah. So the first thing you would want to do is you want to install all the packages that you have that has been installed for you via the package.json when you are creating with Vite. So you go ahead and do yarn install. Okay, so while that is installing, we can go through the Vite package created for us. So in this case, we have the public, where we have things related to the asset, like the images. In this case, we have the vite.svg. Now we have our source directory, which is named src. We have the asset, and then inside our asset we also have a React svg. We have app.css, we have app.css, index.css, main.css. If you notice, my linter is giving me this red line simply because I've yet to install all the packages. Okay, so moving on, we have our app.css. Okay, yeah, so if you look at the main.css is where we have the root folder of the whole application. So, and that's why we're getting the get element by id, and then we have the root. In I want to believe we have, yes, we have the index.html here, which is from here, especially for people who are coming from well, we just learned HTML. So this is how you used to do it with your JavaScript. So you have your div, an ID of root, and that's exactly what we have on the main.css. So it's getting the element by ID, and then we select the root, and then we can go into the app.css where we have this. So I'm going to clear all this so that we get to see what is happening from scratch. Okay, so let's quickly look at the documentation from the React documentation, which is react.dev, and then you can have this. If you don't want to go through that stress, you can simply just search for useState, and then it will take you to where you need to be reference. Yeah. So from the React documentation, we have useState. They define useState as a React hook that lets you add a state variable to your component, and then we have this pattern. So this is a pattern of declaring useState. So you have the state, you have the set state action, consists a variable as we want, as would assume that you know, and then we have the useState, and then so any value you pass into this parenthesis is the initial state that this guy here we inherit. So quickly, let's just go into our code so you get to understand what I'm saying better. So we have const we have state, and set state equals use states. And the use state is coming from React. Yeah, so we have use state from React. Now if you hover on your state value here, don't worry if this is a CSS, is a TypeScript, or in my own case here I'm using TypeScript. Do not worry, do not be discouraged if it is in TypeScript, or you don't know TypeScript yet and what you only understand is JavaScript, which will most likely be in JSX. It is literally the same in this case, as we are not doing any form of typing in this particular example. So yeah, so this state, what I'm trying to say here is that if you look at this guy here, so from the documentation we could see that they said this is an initial state. Now in this case we're not passing any value here, and recall in JavaScript when nothing is in a particular variable, it is assumed that that variable is, or it is believed that that variable is undefined. So in this case we have our VS Code is trying to tell us that, oh, this guy here is undefined. If I pass in a value number, it's going to tell us that the type is number. If you pass in a boolean, it's going to tell you that this is a boolean value. And if you pass in something like an object, it shows us that this is also an empty object. So we can just, for now, to keep things simple, we use a string value, and then it's telling us that this is a string. So quickly we can just work with a simple example using something like an input. So as a user input a value, as a user type, we get to see what exactly is happening, and I believe that will be a solid foundation for us. So when working with React, so we have the input field, the same way you write your input in your HTML, but in this case it has a self-closing tag here, and then we use the unchanged prop, which is this, and you have your e tag and this set state. So this e tag contains those values that we need from the input. So e.target the value. So we have that, and then you can see your p tag. My autocomplete is disturbing me. So we have the state. So remember, this is just a string, and then we have this. So we can just quickly style this. Let's give this a div. We can use our CSS here, but this is not a CSS class, so we can just quickly style this and say, okay, let's give padding of 16 pixels, a maximum width of 720 pixels, and we say width of 100%, and we can do margin of octo. So this will help us to center it, and then we can increase the width of the input to, like, let's say 250 pixels, the height to like 48 pixels, and then we do border radius just to give it a basic styling of let's say 8 pixels. I think this should be fine. So let's see our browser. So in my own case, I'm already running the yarn dev. You can get to see that again. So when you run your yarn dev, it's going to give you a URL which you can copy, or you can simply hold your command key and click if you're on Mac. So let me copy instead, and then we have this. So yeah, so this is what we have in this case. We can just give this guy a padding as well. It pays us. So yeah, so this is fine. So you can say Adewale is here. So you could see that as I type in values, you could see the result here. So just as I was explaining the other time, that your state is like you want to switch on a bulb. So with the action we perform here, you get to see the result of that action. So if you put it off, if you put off your bulb, you don't get to see anything, and if you put it on, you see it. So whatever you are doing, you get to see everything in here. So basically, this is just the basics of use state, and we're going to take it further to say, okay, how can we merge two variables or more than two variables together using the same state. So imagine you want to take in another value. For instance, let's say you want to take a value of an email. So set email equals useState is also a string, and then we can say we can copy this input again as well. But in this case, we're not going to be using setState again, because now we want to capture the value for email. So we need to use the dispatch action that was going to update our variable here. So we can copy the setState, the set email, right to this place, and then br. So, and then we get to see our email. We can do p email. Sorry about this. So we can do the value of larry21@gmail.com. So it's pretty the same thing. So what now happens when you want to capture more elements, like you still want to capture something that says on set on, you say useState equals, let's say, false. So, and then you have another thing, you want to track something like password, for instance, and then you have password, and you do set password equals useState equals empty string. If you look at this, imagine you have a long list of useState. That means you are repeating yourself, and it's going to make this whole page bloated and not effective. So the next thing we are looking at is, okay, how can we have a single useState and then have everything in one place instead of having 4 useStates, for instance. So that's what we'll be looking at in our next video, and then stay tuned. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you.